Hey YouTube, it's been a while. I'm sorry that it's been so long since I posted a video. I've had some stuff going on in my personal life, and I haven't updated here. I haven't updated on my personal account. I just haven't been able to spend time on the internet, and I apologize for that. It will never be this long between videos again. That being said, let's get right to it. Okay, first of all, in the last video I talked about a problem where users outside of the United States were getting a message that says you cannot view this video in your country. It turns out that this has to do with our good friend copyright. It happens with certain videos that are uploaded by the copyright holder, or it also happens with certain songs in audio swap. Now, the bad news is that apparently from a legal standpoint there's nothing that can be done about this, but the good news is that from a practical standpoint there is something that you can do. You can do this by using what's called a proxy. Now, you can just Google YouTube proxy and you should be able to find all the information that you need. Essentially what it is instead of interfacing directly with YouTube, there's an intermediary place between you and YouTube. And basically what this does is it tricks YouTube into thinking that instead of accessing from here, you're actually accessing from here. Speaking of the last video, I really want to thank everybody who left feedback on the last video, left comments, and everybody who sent me a private message bringing up a specific issue. I forwarded a bunch of them through to YouTube, but there was one that I wanted to get feedback from all of you about before I forwarded it on, just to get a little bit more information. I got a message from a user who was, it was about her YouTube message inbox, like if she went to her sent messages. Instead of being in chronological order, they were in reverse chronological order, meaning that she had to click through and click through and click through to get to the message that she wanted to see. Now, I tried this out myself and I wasn't experiencing the same problem. So I wanted to ask all of you, have you experienced this problem, and are you still experiencing this problem? And did you experience it regularly or sporadically? And if so, what browser do you use? Now, the main thing that I talked about in the last video was communication with YouTube, between YouTube and the community. And you provided the feedback, I heard it, and I passed along to YouTube. What I overwhelmingly heard from you is that the communication that you get from YouTube is incomplete. It's not enough. It's hard to find, and it's in a format which is not optimal. The majority of people were saying that they would prefer to get information from YouTube, not through their written blog, but through the media that we're most familiar with interacting with the site, which is video. I told them that what I was hearing is that people would like to see an expansion of the role of the YouTube channel. And I think that having a YouTube channel where they make videos on a regular basis would really help the communication problem, in that we wouldn't feel like we were being left in the dark so much, and also, and maybe more importantly, we could feel more like we were being listened to. And it's important for YouTube to listen to our concerns on these kinds of things, because in the evolving internet landscape, as this Web 2.0 revolution continues, there's more and more of these websites out there of all different kinds, social networking websites and video hosting websites of all different sizes and shapes and configurations and descriptions, and it's in YouTube's interest to try and cultivate some kind of loyalty. Now, just because YouTube is the it site in video right now doesn't guarantee that it's going to be the it site a year from now. Just look at Friendster. When Friendster first came out, it was it in social networking. But the thing about Friendster is most of the interaction, pretty much all the interaction, was not between the users of Friendster and Friendster. It was between the users and each other. So their loyalty was to each other. So along comes this thing called MySpace, and it becomes, for whatever reason, the new cool hip place to hang out online. Well, all these people on Friendster have no loyalty to Friendster, so they take their loyalty to each other and they just relocate to another place, another site. And that's why it's so important going forward for YouTube to take our interests and make them their interests, because they need to foster that kind of loyalty. They need to find a way to create it. And that's why I want to talk a little bit today about something that I believe was created to try and foster that kind of loyalty, and that is the partnership program. The YouTube Partner Program, wherein YouTube shares a portion of the advertising revenue with the content creators of certain video makers on YouTube. It sounds like a great thing, and I think it has the potential to be a great thing, but the truth of the matter is, right now, the partner program is, in certain circles, it's causing mistrust, it's causing suspicion, it's causing division. It's just generally, lessening the ability for people on both sides of the fence to, fully enjoy their experience here on YouTube. Part of the problem is that it's created this sort of perception of a haves and have-not two-tiered system. And while it's true that they've opened up application to be a partner to everybody in certain countries, and that they say that they're going to be expanding that to more and more countries as time goes on, I've heard something disconcerting, and that's that some people who've applied to be partner have had their applications effectively ignored, and they just hear nothing, yay or nay, back from YouTube for months at a time, if ever. So that's something that needs to be addressed, but I think it's just sort of a symptom of a larger problem, which is, people don't really know what exactly is the criteria to become a partner, and, beyond that, just sort of a general lack of transparency about the partnership program at all. And so to try and address that as best I can, I'm going to go ahead and tell you everything that I know about the partnership program as a member of the partnership program. Okay, first of all, the reason that I can tell you about these things and talk about it is that A, I was never asked to sign any kind of non-disclosure agreement about the partnership program, and I also have no sort of obligations as an employee of YouTube because I'm not one. In fact, a lot of people don't quite understand that, one of the reasons that it's called the partnership program is that, at least from a legal standpoint, YouTube isn't actually paying us money. The advertiser pays a certain amount of revenue to put an ad on a video, and that revenue is divided, part of it going to YouTube and part of it going to the partner. Now, that being said, YouTube doesn't actually reveal to the partner how much the advertiser is paying for the ad, and it would seem that different advertisers pay different amounts for different ads under different circumstances, none of which is ever disclosed to the partner. Furthermore, YouTube doesn't disclose to the partner what the exact breakdown or what percentage they're getting of the ad revenue and exactly how it's tabulated or calculated. So basically, when you become a partner, you open an AdSense account, which is Google's advertising program, and you monetize your videos, which means basically to put ads on them, and then sort of money gets deposited into your AdSense account, sort of haphazardly and willy-nilly, sort of with no rhyme or reason that's immediately apparent to you. And when I say money, I'm not talking like money. I'm talking money. Because, okay, it's important to note that if you know anything about Google AdSense, the way that their payment structure works is that the month after your account reaches $100, they actually pay you the money. And so if you're just like an everyday regular YouTuber, you got like 100, a few hundred, maybe even a couple thousand subscribers, you're not going to be hitting that $100 mark anytime soon. In fact, I think I personally am on pace to hit it sometime in like 2012. Also, it seemed like, at a certain time there was kind of a correlation with being in the partnership program and kind of getting more exposure on YouTube, but I don't think that's really the case so much anymore, with more and more people, being accepted into the partnership program. Because I know several YouTubers, including myself, who have come into the partnership program fairly recently and have never been featured or put in the promoted videos or anything like that. I think that's about it. I think that's all I can think of right now. If you have any questions about the partnership program, or if you have concerns, if you have specific problems with the partnership program, lay out exactly what it is that bothers you about it, and how it affects your experience here on the site, and what you would do to address it. What would you do? What would you change? How would you fix the problem? So I look forward to hearing your feedback, and I'll see you soon.